But we also see an issue where communities are not responding to abuse the way they need to, where men in power are not saying, wait a minute, this is wrong. This is not how we view women. This is not how we treat women. And in a large degree, that's because of how we have become conditioned to view women, how we allow ourselves to view women. And at the heart of it, we really need a shift in mindset towards sexuality and towards females.
Hey, so we just got off the convocation stage with Rachael Denhollander, and man, what an honor to have you with us. Thank you for coming and being a part of this particular conversation, very important conversation for us to have. How has your experience been so far being here? Have you had a chance to meet any of our students yet? I know you're going to be with them this afternoon for a lecture, and you know very well Boz, your vision, one of our professors. But yeah, how did you think it went, and how's your experience been so far?
We have loved being here. I have been able to interact with a few of the students, and that has been just a great experience. So we're very grateful. Liberty is a beautiful campus, and so being able to spend some time here with the faculty, with the students, and even just on this campus has been a great experience.
Rachael, can you talk to us a little bit about the role of the church? Certainly, I was a pastor of a local church, and we wanted people who are not a part of our community to know that we were an inclusive community. We were a place where they could come and belong. We were people of grace, people of forgiveness, people of a second chance, And inside of that, from everything that was on our billboard to our website to what we would say to people who would come to visit, we wanted them to know that this was a place where they could come and we would let them into our lives. And so that said, it can become very much a place where it's easy prey for a predator to come. And so can you talk to us about being a responsible church and what steps can be taken to not give up, in one sense, a desire to reach people and to be welcoming, but at the same time take seriously this reality that churches can become easy places for predators to come and take advantage of people?
Yeah, I mean, the horrific reality is that churches are often one of the most unsafe places for victims and one of the safest places for predators. And predators know that. That's why they target faith communities. There are a lot of dynamics to what goes into making a place safe for predators. Lack of mandatory reporting, lack of good church policy, lack of a victim-supported church environment where the voices of the victims are prioritized and heard, lack of addressing these issues from the pulpit. But for a church that really is desiring to deal with this, they need a much more comprehensive program than I could even begin to give. I do highly recommend Grace's program, Godly Response to Abuse in a Christian Environment. Their training program is really top of the line for looking not just at how do you prevent abuse, but how do you respond to it in a way that glorifies God, in a way that brings the hope of the gospel to predators, but also brings the hope of the gospel to victims in a very practical, very wise, very informed fashion, to make churches a safe place for victims to come and an unsafe place for those who are unrepentant predators.
What would be my role as a man? What would be my role as a father and a church member in hearing the story of someone who is not my biological daughter, but God has put me in her life as, in some sense, as someone to be in community with. So if someone's hearing this and they're saying, man, I know a young lady who's been abused, or I know someone who's going through this accusation, even maybe through outside of church culture, hey, this is a person in my school or a person in my neighborhood. Give me some practical advice on what would be my particular role in something like that.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. When you are walking alongside a survivor, your role is to support them, to speak the truth about abuse the same way that God does, to bring them to a place where they can, Lord willing, get adjudication of justice, and to walk with them through that process. When you are walking alongside someone who has been accused, your job is to say, hey, brother, hey, sister, these are the authority spheres that God has given us. We need to submit to this process. We need to be in submission to what God has asked us to do. And I'm going to walk with you through this process. and we're going to do it together, but we are going to be in submission to the God-given authority figures. And honestly, even to entertain the idea that this person that I love and trust, this person who's a close friend of mine, he may actually have done what he is accused of, because 92 to 98% of the time he has. And that is a very difficult realization to grapple with, but it is something that people need to understand and wrestle with when they're walking alongside someone who has been accused.
Fantastic. Rachael, it's been an honor to have you here. I think you really are helping us on a more practical sense, walk this out. And I think pastors listening even to this conversation can hopefully walk away and just go, man, I've got to get proactive. I've got to get my staff together. And we've got to create policies, put them in place. We've got to create a posture, where we really are about this in a biblical way, and we're not in the marketing business.
Exactly.
We're ultimately in the ministry business.
Yep, that's
Thank
right.
you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.